Serialization in Java is a process of converting a Java object into a byte stream. So it can be easily saved to file sent over a network or stored in memory or a database. Again, deserialization is a reverse process like converting the byte stream back into a Java object. Why serialization? Like for persistent, save the object state to a file or database. For communication purpose, like transferring object over the network and caching and deep cloning. So it creates a deep copy of a object. So how it works in Java? So Java provides a built-in support for serialization. We have a java.io.serializable interface, and we can also use output streams like object output and object input stream. And again, serializable interface is a marker interface. That is, it has no methods. It just tells that JVM that the object is serializable. And what is a stream? Like Java's input output stream system is a part of again IO package and used for reading and writing data. Either it can be like bytes, object, or characters. So again, a stream is a sequence of data. In Java, there are two main types. That is input stream, which helps to read data from source. Again, output stream writes data to a destination. It can be a file, console, network, or keyboard. So main types here you can see again we have a byte stream handles raw binary data like input stream and output stream are the base classes. Again we have a character stream which handles characters, reader and writer classes we have. Then for object stream which we'll see in the examples like read write objects. So examples are like object input stream and object output stream. So here is the example for serialization, like how we can implement in Java. So what I'm doing here is like I'm getting the file and adding the object into it, and again during deserialization the same file I'll be retrieving the object. So first step, as I mentioned, like we have to implement a serializable interface. So I have created a employee class. I'll be implementing serializable interface. So this is to maintain a version, and we have two fields here, name and ID. In these two fields I'll be serializing. So once we have implemented the serializable interface, then what we need to do is create the object for it. Then serialize and deserializing object. Like how we can do is first, as I mentioned, get the file or initialize the file. Then using output object output stream, write the object into that file. So first step you can see here, like I'm just passing the file here to file output stream. For writing into the file, what we'll do is we'll use output stream. For reading, we will use input stream. So here the file output stream just to get the file, then pass that object to the object output stream, then write the object. So write into the file. Then again the reverse process, let's get the same file and pass the input stream to object input stream, then read the object. So once you are done with both the operation, you need to close the streams, then print it to the system, like print to the console. So real world use cases are like a distributed system or microservices communicating via REST or message queues, and also like storing user session data to disk or caching the objects or sending data over a remote method invocation. So again, imagine an online banking app that needs to persist user session data when a server goes down. So when user logs in, their profile is stored in memory, and for failover, like this object is serialized and data to and stored data to a disk every few minutes. And on server restart, again the serialized file is deserialized, like to restore the session state. So we have transient keyword here, like in Java it used during serialization to indicate that a particular field should not be serialized. So this we can use for password fields and all. Let's say you have sensitive data or non-serializable fields like threads or sockets. We can use a transient keyword. And what it does, like field marked as a transient are ignored for a serialization. So here, as I shown, like we have two fields, ID and name. So if you want to, if you don't want to serialize any of these fields, you just need to add transient keyword before that. So here is the example. So I have two field like username and password. I have added a transient keyword so that the password won't be serialized. So while retrieving the data, what happens is it will give you a null or empty values. The process will be same, like you need to use object output stream, then write it to the file, then during retrieve you will get the null value. So these are the important points, like a transient keyword is used to exclude a field from serialization, and static fields are not serialized because they belongs to class, not to an instance, and always declare serial version UID for compatibility between versions. And custom serialization can be implemented using write object and read object methods. So let's see a simple example here. So I have three classes. One is user profile, where I have a username, email, and password. So password is transient here, so it won't be serialized. So add a serial version UID. Then like again, toString is just to print the object. Then I have serialization and deserialization classes. So here I'm using file output stream to serialize the object. So I have provided the file, then output object output stream, pass the file output stream as an input here, then write object. So writing the object into the file. So here serialized data is saved in user.ser. So let me execute this first. Then you can see I got the output that or the message. Then using a file input stream, the same class, same file path I will be passing. Then using object input stream, I will be reading the object. So I will be reading the object and assigning to the user profile itself, then reading the data. So if I use object directly, it will print the message using toString. So let me execute this again. So you can see username is John again .example.com, but you can see the password is null because password is transient here. So let's say if I have not given transient, after executing this and this, password will also be displayed. So whenever you go for a sensitive data, better to use transient so it won't be serialized. So this is all about serialization in Java. Thanks for watching.